Bedtime Bus!
Let's join the Emperor and his magical clothes. Settle in and get ready for an enchanting story filled with royal vanity, cunning trickery, and one brave child's path to honesty.
Once upon a time, there lived an emperor who loved beautiful clothes more than anything in the world. His palace was filled with the most magnificent robes, capes, and crowns you could imagine. Every morning, the emperor spent hours choosing what to wear, trying on robe after robe. His servants would help him decide between the purple velvet or the golden silk. One day, two strangers arrived at the palace gates, claiming to be the finest weavers in all the land. They carried mysterious bags and spoke in hushed, important voices. The two men told the emperor about a magical cloth they could weave, invisible to anyone foolish or unfit for their position. The emperor's eyes widened with fascination. "Such wonderful cloth would help me know who is wise and who is foolish in my kingdom," thought the emperor. He immediately ordered the finest silk and gold thread. The swindlers set up their pretend loom in a special room and began their fake weaving, working day and night. They moved their hands as if handling the most delicate threads. After several days, the emperor grew curious and sent his most trusted advisor to check on the progress. The old man walked nervously down the palace corridor. The advisor stared at the empty loom in shock, seeing absolutely nothing, but afraid to admit it. "Surely I cannot be foolish," he thought, his heart racing with worry. "Oh my, what exquisite fabric," the advisor lied, praising the beautiful colors and patterns he couldn't see. The swindlers smiled knowingly at each other, pleased with their trick. The advisor returned to the emperor, describing imaginary golden threads and silver patterns in great detail. The emperor clapped his hands with joy, eager to see his new clothes. Soon, word spread through the palace that the emperor's new clothes would be the most magnificent ever seen. Servants whispered excitedly in every hallway and room about the magical fabric. The night before the great parade, the swindlers worked frantically, pretending to put finishing touches on the invisible garments. They snipped imaginary threads and smoothed invisible seams with great care. "Your Majesty, your magnificent new outfit is ready," announced the swindlers, presenting absolutely nothing with grand ceremony. They held up their empty hands as if displaying the finest robes. The emperor stared in confusion at his reflection, seeing only his undergarments, but too proud to admit the truth. "Surely I cannot appear foolish before my people," he worried silently. "How wonderfully the clothes fit! How perfectly they drape!" the emperor exclaimed, pretending to admire his invisible outfit. He posed and turned, acting as if wearing the finest silk robes. The grand parade began with trumpets blaring as the emperor stepped out in his invisible finery before the gathered crowd. People lined the streets, craning their necks to see the famous magical clothes. The crowd murmured nervously, each person afraid to admit they saw nothing, whispering false compliments to their neighbors. "What beautiful colors!" they lied, feeling confused and worried. Suddenly, a little boy in the crowd pointed and shouted the truth that everyone was thinking. "But the emperor has no clothes on!" His clear voice rang out across the silent square. The crowd gasped, then began to nod and murmur in agreement as the spell of the lie was finally broken. "The child is right," they called out, feeling free to speak the truth at last. The emperor realized his mistake and learned that honesty is more valuable than pride, becoming a wiser ruler who listened to truth. From that day forward, he valued honest words over flattering lies, and his kingdom flourished with trust and wisdom. Thank you for watching today's story. Remember to like, subscribe, and join us next time on the Storytime Bus for another magical adventure.